All right, welcome back. Today we are diving into a really crucial turning point in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. We're talking about Chapter 6, a chapter where this fragile sense of peace is just barely covering up a horrifying secret.
So let's get right into it. The chapter kicks off, and it's not actually from Victor's point of view. Instead, we get a letter from his beloved Elizabeth. And this is so important because it immediately yanks us into this world of, well, of home, a world of love and concern, which is a universe away from the horror that Victor has just unleashed. Now, this letter, it's so much more than just a, hey, hope you're feeling better note. It's really a painting, a portrait of this perfect, idyllic life that's waiting for him back home. The big question, of course, is, can he ever really go back to that? Is he even capable of it anymore? I mean, Elizabeth just lays out this scene of perfect, beautiful normalcy, you know? She's talking about family, about growth, about their community. We hear about their brother Ernest, who's thinking about a military career, and then there's little William with his sweet, laughing blue eyes. It's a world of simple, happy, everyday things. And the contrast between that and the monstrous, festering secret in Victor's head, it's just staggering. But tucked away in all this happy news, there's this other story. Elizabeth mentions that a beloved member of the household, Justine Moritz, has returned. And her story? Wow, it's like a whole tragedy packed into just a few paragraphs. Yeah, Justine's life has been this total roller coaster of rejection and then acceptance. I mean, can you imagine? Despised by her own mother, she finds this loving home with the Frankensteins, but then she's pulled right back into this toxic situation to deal with her mother's guilt-ridden abuse. So when she finally returns to Geneva, it feels like this happy ending for her. But what Shelley is doing here is so clever. She's quietly placing a character on the board who is going to be incredibly important and, as we'll see, incredibly vulnerable. Okay, so we have this warm, loving letter painting a picture of home, but Victor's reality? It couldn't be further from that. Let's shift our focus back to him, because what we find is a guy who, yeah, he might be physically healing, but mentally, he is completely and utterly shattered. So after he finally recovers from his illness, Victor realizes something terrifying has happened inside him. He's developed this violent antipathy for his work. The very name natural philosophy, the science he used to adore, it literally makes him sick now. Just seeing a piece of chemical equipment is enough to bring back all the agony of his creation. We're talking about some serious, deep PTSD-like symptoms here. And this moment with his professor, M. Waldman, it just perfectly highlights the massive gap between Victor's public life and his private hell, right? On the outside, he's the star pupil getting all this praise, but for Victor, hearing about his astonishing progress is like being shown the very tools that will be used for his own slow, cruel death. The praise itself is pure torture. And this is the really crucial part. Even with his best friend, Clerval, who you can tell totally senses something is wrong and tries to protect him by changing the subject, even with him, Victor is completely, utterly alone. He just can't bring himself to confide in anyone. He's trapped inside his own head with this horrifying secret. So Clerval, who has no idea what's really going on, comes up with a plan. He can't get Victor to confess, so he figures the next best thing is a remedy based on, well, distraction, a total and complete change of pace. And what a change it is. On Clerval's suggestion, Victor completely abandons the science that basically ruined his life. Instead, he dives headfirst into his friend's passion, Oriental languages. We're talking Persian, Arabic, Sanskrit. For the Romantics, this was like the ultimate escape, right? Turning away from the cold, rational science of the West that had hurt him so badly and turning towards the exotic, spiritual East. And it works. He finds their melancholy soothing and their joy elevating. But let's be really clear about what's happening here. This isn't just him picking a new major. This is a desperate attempt to become a different person. He's literally running from his old self. He's trying to find a world of poetry and warmth, what he calls a warm sun and a garden of roses. Basically, anything that will get him as far away as humanly possible from the cold, hard science of creation. And then, spring finally arrives. And with it, a walking tour with Clerval that seems to offer Victor a real, genuine cure. It feels like he's finally reconnecting, not just to the world, but to himself. You can just feel the shift. Through the power of his friendship with Clerval and the sheer beauty of nature, Victor starts to feel like his old self. the person he was before this all-consuming ambition took over. He actually says he became the same happy creature again, someone loved by everyone, without a single sorrow or care in the world. Just by looking up at this serene sky and verdant fields, he feels this genuine, unadulterated joy. It's a feeling of ecstasy. And for the first time in what feels like forever, he truly believes that the darkness is gone, that the crushing weight of his secret has just, poof, vanished.
I mean, the final image of this period is just one of pure, unbridled joy and hilarity. You get the sense that his recovery isn't just partial, it seems absolutely complete. So here's the thing. This chapter gives us what looks like a perfect happy ending. But does it feel real? It kind of feels like an illusion, doesn't it? One that's built entirely on pushing everything down, on repression and distraction. And so it leaves us, the reader, with this awful, lingering sense of dread. You just have to ask yourself, how long can this fragile peace possibly last? How long before the monster and the reality of what Victor has done comes crashing back?